My name is Zoe.
And we're gonna make chocolate mayonnaise cake. And it's our parents' birthday. And so first we're gonna need 1.5 cups hot, strong brewed coffee.
Yes, that sounds great. Like Madeline said, we're baking this cake because it's our au pair, Lisa's birthday today. So first we needed to get all of our ingredients. So you can see we set out everything in advance so we would be ready and it could make our cooking time more efficient. Oh, good idea, girls. I need to get my apron too.
Can you put my apron on?
Can I tie it for you?
Sure. Wait, did you pause it?
No.
Okay, so
we already poured the 1.5 cups of strong coffee in, but we did it with decaffeinated coffee because with little people, they don't need to be drinking caffeine and going crazy, right?
Right.
Right? All right, yours is all set, Zoe? All right. Next thing we need to add, Madeline, can you read it on the list, what we add to the coffee?
That's how crazy I got when I ate I drank wine.
1 cup of unsweetened.
I would like to have more.
Hey Zoe, we're gonna use 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa.
Okay, so here's the unsweetened cocoa.
What does it taste like?
That's a really good question. Unsweetened cocoa does not taste the way chocolate normally tastes. Maybe you can take a little bit. I'm going to get you a spoon. Maybe you can taste just a teeny little bit on your finger.
Did you try it before?
Tell me what you think.
One spoon.
I'm gonna eat all of this.
Okay. I don't think you're going to want all of it. What do you think? Your teeth are brown now. So we need to put a cup in. No, don't eat that. Don't eat that much. All right, can you measure? Okay, so you don't love it. Madeline, can you measure a cup of the cocoa, please?
Excuse me for 1 second.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
Now we just poured it in. You can
Okay, so we measured 1 cup of cocoa powder.
and it kind of got a little bit messy in the bowl.
And we added it to the hot, strong coffee.
Can me and Zoe share?
And Zoe is gonna whisk it very
Can
gently.
I whisk it too?
Sure, we can take turns.
Now it looks like chocolate.
Now it does. So after we whisk it together really well, we're gonna set that aside and let it cool for 20 minutes.
20, Mommy, I don't want to wait.
But we're gonna be doing other things to make the cake while this cools. Don't worry. Keep whisking.
Now we are going to reheat the oven for 253 degrees.
Now we are going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees.
300 degrees.
What are we adding next, Zoe?
Flour.
How much flour do we add?
A full cup.
3 cups.
Yep, it says
It's
3.
so soft.
It says 3 cups of all-purpose flour.
Right, and we use all-purpose gluten-free flour. So Zoe's gonna add 2 more cups to get us to 3 cups. What's next on the list, Madeline?
We are gonna use 2 teaspoons baking soda.
Okay, you and I can get started on the baking soda, Madeline.
Yay!
Okay, our 2 teaspoons of baking soda.
I only did 1 more flour.
Do we need to open the other bag of flour, Zoe? Sometimes it's a little easier, Madeline, if you scoop it in there. Scoop it all the way down to the bottom. Looks like we need another bag of flour open, Zoe.
Oh. I'm going to feel this flour. It's so soft.
We're gonna use half a teaspoon of baking powder.
Half a teaspoon of baking powder, okay? Let's get that. Let's get that going. All right, Zoe added the 3rd cup of flour.
No, that's the 2nd.
That was the 3rd.
I got 1.5 teaspoons.
It's always really important to count how many cups of ingredients you're
I
adding.
got 1.5, Mommy.
Okay, can you find the half? The 1/2? 1-2 stands for half.
I got it.
Okay, well, so then we need to dip it into the baking powder.
Wait, Mama, do I really got the white one?
Well, let's see.
We got the 1/2 of a teaspoon. Now we're gonna put this in.
We had to double check because the 1/2 tablespoon and 1/2 teaspoon look really similar. And we don't want to put 1/2 tablespoon. That's a lot more.
Well, I think I forgot a little bit of the flour.
Well, what do you think we should do with that extra flour, Zoe? Where can we put it so that we don't waste it?
So how many?
Back in the bag?
So how many?
Yes! We need to put it back in the bag. So Zoe's pouring 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That's fine. You can just shake it off.
Is it?
No. I think that looks like
It's
the right
okay.
amount.
It's okay if it's just a teeny bit extra.
Great. And now what we're going to do is whisk together the dry ingredients. So
I
all these things like the powder and the baking powder, baking soda, salt, we call those dry ingredients. So who's going to whisk?
me.
All right, great, Madeline. I'll grab the whisk.
We're gonna whisk this up.
Why do you think we whisk those things together?
So we make it so I don't know.
So we evenly mix it up because wouldn't it taste weird if only one part of the cake had salt in it and the rest of the cake didn't? So what we're trying to do is evenly distribute the baking powder, the baking soda, and the salt.
We're gonna use 2.5 cups of granulated sugar. Then you're gonna use 4 large eggs.
Great. So who's in charge of the sugar and who's in charge of the eggs?
I'm in charge of the sugar.
What? Is that just because you want to eat all the sugar?
Okay, I want to be in charge of the eggs.
Okay.
I want to try some sugar.
Would you like some help cracking the eggs?
No, I got this.
All right, let me get you a bowl to put the shells in.
Where's the plate for the?
So why don't you keep the eggs in here?
No.
All right, you're going to break them in here.
Just filling up this.
Nicely done. And you can put the shell back in there.
Do I have to wash my hands?
Any time we use eggs, we need to wash our hands afterward.
Come on.
Don't you need to crack that one first? You've gotten really quick at cracking those eggs. All right, Zoe, how's the sugar coming? I saw you eat that sugar, Zoe.
I want to have some. I want to have some. So now we're gonna whisk it.
We're gonna mix it. So Zoe has the hand mixer.
And I'm gonna turn it
You've got-
on.
Push the button over to the side.
Mayonnaise.
This one.
Then we're gonna use 1 cup of mayonnaise.
Yep, so Zoe, what are you mixing together there?
Eggs and the sugar. Oh my lord, they look so weird.
Oh.
It's like a masterpiece. Ooh la la.
Can I have a try?
It's pretty neat how the colors mix together, isn't it?
Wait. How do I go a little bit higher, Mama?
I'll show you in just a second. Now, what the instructions say is to beat the mixture of the eggs and the sugar at low speed for 4 minutes. Madeline could have a turn, Zoe. How about you hand it over and let her have a turn?
Oat's ready.
No, it needs 4 minutes, so let's let Madeline have a turn.
No, look at it, Mama.
It looks like it's Madeline's turn. Here, Matt. You want to mix it all around.
I can't see it. It looks like butter. This looks like
It does kind of look a little bit like butter.
butter. How does that get it onto?
I think it looks good, so you can push that button.
I'm gonna use a cup of mayonnaise, and when we're done making it, I wanted to show you my kitties.
Yep.
That Wags gave us.
Yes, Wags is our neighbor dog, and he is very festive. Wags likes to bring gifts around to the children in the neighborhood for the different holidays. So Madeline is adding a cup of mayonnaise in And the mayonnaise functions instead of butter in this recipe to help keep the cake moist.
What does moist mean?
Moist is the opposite of dry.
What's the opposite of dry?
You know what the opposite is. Can you give me an example of some opposites?
The opposite of sun and night.
So daytime is nighttime? Yeah. What's the opposite of tall?
Small.
Mm-hmm. You got it. Okay, so Madeline is scooping the vanilla in, and Zoe has...
Not
I mean, not the vanilla, Madeline's scooping in the mayonnaise. Zoe's going to do the vanilla, and we need 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla.
Wait, but
So first, Zoe, you're going to fill up
Mama, can
this one and pour it in the red bowl. Uh-oh, didn't that happen last time?
Yeah, that's a lot of mayonnaise. Not mayonnaise.
Okay, and now take the little, no, not that one, but the small one,
Baby.
the half of a teaspoon, and pour that
What's happening with me?
in. All right, so we've got our vanilla and our mayonnaise, and we're gonna beat again. We're gonna turn on the mixer.
Wait, Mama.
Okay, so Madeline has the dry ingredients. Zoe has mixed in the mayonnaise and the vanilla, and it's time for Madeline to add the flour mixture in. So Zoe, can you turn on the blender?
Yes.
And
so-
Madeline, can you pour in the flour?
Sorry. There we go.
We're gonna keep doing this in little increments. So now Zoe's gonna blend in the flour.
I'm sorry.
And here is a spatula. Sometimes it's helpful to take the spatula around the side.
And leave my mom.
That's right. All right, you ready to add some more flour? That's okay. And we want to keep that down low so that the flour doesn't spray all over the place.
It looks like slime.
Looks like slime? I think we're ready for some more.
Oh, it's still really tough. A little bit extra.
There you go. Yeah, as we add more flour, it becomes a little thicker, so we might want to turn up the
Can I have this one
speed.
mixed in?
Probably a little bit more too.
Why don't we switch turns? That's a great idea.
A little more too.
Let's switch places. You ready? You'll be in charge of the flour. Madeline will be in charge of the mixing.
Fine.
I like the flour.
You like the flour? All right, Madeline.
Soft.
Can I put it more? It's so
I think that's a
soft.
good amount.
No, it's
Zoe, I think we're ready for some more. Let's try to make sure we get it in the bowl.
Madeline! Well, look how high it is, Mama.
She's doing just fine, Zoe. What are you worried about?
Yeah, it really is.
All right, let's add the rest of the flour, Zoe. I think you can just pour it all in at this
Want
point.
me to
There's not
put
very
it
much
all?
left.
Okay, so now, yeah.
Zoe's helping Madeline by scraping the sides of the bowl, making sure that all the flour gets mixed in.
It's so cool. It's like icing.
So the grown-up here made a mistake, and we were supposed to alternate the coffee with the flour, but we forgot. That's just part of baking. Sometimes you make mistakes, but it'll be fine.
Well,
So
just get
Madeline,
out,
can you turn on the mixer? And I'm going to add this chocolate coffee mixture. Do you know what chocolate and coffee together, what that flavor is called?
No. I turned it up to 3.
It's called mocha.
Is 3 good? Is 3 good? Is that what we need?
3 sounds perfect. I wouldn't go too much higher than that. So this is our mixture from the beginning. If you remember, we were setting it aside to let it cool. So this is the coffee and cocoa powder together. And then this cake gets even chocolatier because we're going to add some chocolate chips.
Yeah, and it's going to be so chocolatey. Look at that! Mama, look at the mixer.
Oh, I don't know that we should do that.
Well, it's cool.
Zoe, can you tell us what we just did?
So we just poured the cake batter into these big pans.
We did. And we tried really hard to try to do it evenly. This is a stage that requires some adult help because that bowl full of batter was pretty heavy, right?
And
So can each of you grab one of the cake pans and we will take it over and put it in the oven? Carefully take it over.
yeah, and can I take like one of the cakes out?
Oh, I noticed a face. I noticed a kind of face. Look, Mama. I think I can eat a puppy.
All right, can you put it in? On the
Wait.
top rack. We want to put it on the top rack. Nicely done. Can you shut the
Mama?
oven? Great.
I'm gonna bake it for 20 minutes.
The instructions say about 22 to 25 minutes, but what we've learned is that with gluten-free flour, a little bit less baking time works out better. So we're gonna
Mommy?
aim for 20 minutes. We're gonna set our timer. So we just added how much chocolate chips?
3 cups.
3 cups? No! We added 1 1/4 cup of chocolate chips to a bowl. And next, we're going to add some light corn syrup. So the amount of light corn syrup we need is 2 tablespoons. All right, so let's grab that light corn syrup.
My chocolate.
I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of this.
Light corn syrup.
Oh, I know it's here.
And right now, just to be clear, the chocolate chips and the corn syrup are part of the recipe for
I
the frosting.
I love chocolate.
And we decided to start working on the frosting a little bit early. So we're working on the frosting while the cake is baking. Even though we know that we need to wait until the cake is fully cooled before we can actually put the icing on the cake.
Madeline. Oh, I love that's a lot. So look
But it looks like pancakes.
looks like
The chocolate's
shiny
melting.
nail
The
polish.
chocolate's melting.
Looks like nail polish.
And they're like clear nail polish.
Oh, that's an interesting observation. It's also very sweet. Light corn syrup is like a very thick, sugary mixture.
Can
What
you
does it
taste-
taste like?
Well, after you're done pouring it, why don't you taste it and tell us what you think? All right, there's the second tablespoon.
No.
All right, after you pour it all in, just dip your finger against that measuring spoon, Madeline, and taste it. Tell me what you think.
Yummy.
Hey,
Okay, so that's better than the cocoa powder, huh?
Oh yeah.
hey.
Next, we need to microwave this mixture for 1 minute, but we need to stop and stir it every 15 seconds. So we took it out after the first 15 seconds. What does it look like, Zoe?
Just looks the same, but a little bit melty.
A little bit melted. So we're gonna stir it, then we're gonna put it back into the microwave for 15 more seconds. Here we go. Here we are after the second 15 seconds. Is it a little bit more melted, Madeline? Looks like it. All right, we're
Now
gonna-
most of the chocolate chips are melted.
All right, let's put it back in for 15 more seconds. All right, our last 15-second increment.
Hey.
Ooh, it smells delicious.
Yeah, I wish that I could eat it.
It's so hard.
Well, it looks like we might need a little bit more time in the microwave to get it fully melted.
Sweaty.
Once it's fully smooth, we're going to let it sit at room temperature for 10 minutes.
It looks like icing.
It does. But we're gonna let it cool down.
I got some on my son.
Oh, you just wanted to so that you could
No, I
lick it.
didn't.
I accidentally got it on Zoe.
While the cake's baking and the chocolate is cooling, we're gonna clean up. So who's gonna do the countertop and who's gonna do the floor today?
I'll do the countertop.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the floor.
Awesome.
I'll do the floor. I haven't done the floor yet.
So now we're gonna take the cakes out. But first we have to do the test. And no!
It's okay, Madeline. You don't need to yell. We'll take them out.
Nice and a lot. There's no crack.
Okay, Madeline's gonna do the test.
Me too.
Looks sweaty, don't
Well, no, that does not quite look ready. See how there's a lot of batter still on there? I think that means it needs a couple more minutes. So let's close it back up.
There, it's like
Zoe.
really soft. I saw
Okay.
there that was really soft.
All right. Well, let's push them back in and close it back up.
that's what
Madeline is going to take them out and put them up.
I hurt my finger.
Oh, yeah. That's why we don't touch without oven mitts on. Yeah, that hurts, doesn't it, Zoe? Why don't you go rinse it under cold water, okay? Thank you, Madeline. So we've taken the cakes out and they need to cool for about 5 minutes before we put them on a cutting board or a wire rack to cool further. Zoe has injured herself, so Madeline put on her medical gloves to treat the patient.
Yeah, and
You can't really see very much blood, but there's just a tiny bit.
Was the blood from your baking accident, or was it from something else?
A bacon accident.
Oh, really?
yeah, and she got her blood all over that finger.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds very dramatic.
Lid on.
What did you just add, Madeline?
I just added
A half teaspoon of what?
the pure vanilla extract.
And Zoe, you added 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So we added that to the chocolate. And next, we need to add 2 cups of powdered sugar. Once again, we had another adult error in reading the instructions today. So I failed to notice that we're supposed to combine the butter, the 1/4 teaspoon of salt, the powdered sugar, and the vanilla first before you add them to the chocolate. But that's okay. You know, everybody makes mistakes when they're baking sometimes. So we've added them into the chocolate mixture already.
Like it nailed it.
Like in Nailed It, the TV show. That's pretty funny. They make mistakes a lot. But that's just
Oh,
life.
it's so bad.
Life is making mistakes. So we need to add our butter. So it asks us to add 3/4 of a cup of butter.
in.
All right, so we've got a 3/4 of a cup of butter. We're gonna add in.
That was not.
Good icing has lots of butter, right?
We add icing, and we're gonna lick it.
You're gonna lick it off of the beaters. All right, so next we're gonna take the beaters out and we're gonna beat this mixture together. So it looks like there might have been an error in the recipe and the way they have it written. I don't love the way they wrote this recipe, but I'm really excited about tasting it.
We're gonna use heavy cream.
So we're gonna use heavy cream. So Madeline, can you pour in 2 tablespoons of heavy cream? And we're gonna blend it some more. We've already started to blend it. But you know how some recipes are written in a way that is a little easier to follow than others. This one is not the easiest to follow.
I accidentally spilled.
But then again, it's a Friday. It's been a long week.
accidentally spilled.
That's okay. We can clean it up.
It tastes weird.
Heavy cream tastes weird?
Let me.
Thank you, Madeline. Now we're gonna blend it. All right, we have mixed it all up. I think the icing is ready for whenever the cake is cool. And Zoe and Madeline are tasting the icing. What do you think? Is it good?
It tastes really different.
Different? Is it strong? Is it sweet? Bitter?
It looks like peanut butter. Just finished the first layer, and now we're going to do the second.
So yes, we just frosted the first layer. Ready to get the second. Now we've added the second layer. It's time to frost it. Who's ready to frost?
Me.
All right. We've got our special cake pan. Zoe, here's yours.
Well, I got an idea. See these rows? Was the icing probably, see these like decoration roses? Like there's one rose, and we can probably dab it on there, like dab it all over. And then it can make little roses. That would
Yeah,
be
you
cool.
think?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay, real gentle, Madeline, because we don't want to break the cake.
There's a bunch on there. We need the sides.
Hey, Zoe, why don't we try to finish the top first, and then we can do the sides? Because that way we can free up the pan so we can turn it in the direction you need it to go.
Oh, that's a bunch of icing.
Zoe's going to show us how she makes the edges smoother.
No.
Maybe, what do you think happened? Did you press a little too hard?
Yes.
That's okay. It could be fixed.
Ah! Sorry. This is kind of complicated sometimes.
Yeah, but nobody said our cake needs to be perfect. It just needs to taste good, right?
And it's a special day for a special au pair.
Yes, it is. A special day for a special au pair.
Thank you for watching.
We're done with our cake.
Yeah.
Our chocolate mayonnaise
And
Southern Living cake, and we can't wait to show it to Lise
And
and
here-
to taste it.
And here are my kitties.
So good.
What does the birthday girl think of her cake?
It's really good. I love it.